Hi, this is Acumen with the US Chartbreakers for Monday, the 8th of May. Starting off with the S&P, where we've got a rather better picture for the leading US index, in the sense we've got a sideways consolidation since the beginning of last month. Managed to bounce above the rising 50-day moving average twice now, which tends to be a continuation signal, especially with the second time bouncing above that. So really expecting that resistance line there from this time last year around 41.50 to be broken convincingly on the third or fourth attempt, depending how you look at it here. And end of day close through 41.50, looking for 4,300, even though obviously there was that advice by a senior investment bank to go short of the S&P at 4,200. So far we haven't actually hit the 4,200 to go short, but that's only a minor detail. On to the stocks, and starting off with a new one for the US Chartbreakers, Acumen Pharmaceuticals. Here, a beautiful bear trap rebound from below the old September support there, around the $4.15 level. Obviously, we've broken above the 50-day moving average there at $4.20, and above that, obviously, the obvious target there, the 200-day line at $5.70, and then the top of that rising trend channel from February up to $7 as soon as the end of this month. At this stage, only back below the previous resistance from the 4th of May. Really, that was around $4.24, really delaying the upside scenario. On to a stock which I wasn't expecting to cover here, because obviously anything in the crypto space tends to be rather problematic, but we've had a gap higher for Coinbase bear trap gap reversal from below the March support there around $51. So impressive turnaround there, and the view now is that we should be able to head back towards the old April resistance around $72, so maybe as soon as the end of this month, and then by the end of next month as high as $90 at that October resistance line projection. This stage only back below $51, really delaying the upside scenario. So basically you're risking around $8 to try, or $7 in fact, to try and make initially 12 and then rather more than that over the near term. If you're cautious, maybe wait for the RSI to just push through that neutral 50 level convincingly. We're just around there now, but that might be a block on some. And obviously notice that the whole rally here started with an unfilled gap to the upside back in January, which tends to be the precursor of some really big and decent moves. So far that has happened. Moving along to Cantaloup, which is another new one for the US Chartbreakers, gapping through that line of resistance from February, gapping through the March-April resistance there around the $6 mark, and above that looking for the top of the rising trend channel from back in September as high as $8, well before the end of this month. If you're looking for the big picture here and trying to cheer yourself up, then the next target after $8 would be as high as $10 or $11 at that upper parallel resistance line there from back in August last year. So $11 after $8. But let's not get too excited at this stage. Still looking for $6.20 to come in as new support ahead of that move up to $8, $6.20, the old March resistance. On to another stock which has come up with the goods over the recent past, Draftkings, and here, beautiful gap to the upside, unfilled gap to the upside to end the week, looking for an initial target here up to $26.50, which looks like it'll be achieved this week. After that, we're looking for a higher upper parallel resistance line projection from August last year, as high as $37, and perhaps that could be seen by the end of next month. Upside certainly in place while we hold above the initial May resistance around $22.50. Maybe that would be the best stop loss over the near term. New stock, or the next stock rather, ImmunityBio. Beautiful push through the 200-day moving average there, the black line, which is now rising, and hitting our initial target there around $5.20, above $5.20, looking for a new destination, maybe up to $10 as soon as the end of next month, at the end of June. And with the way that the 50 and 200-day lines are both rising and heading for a potential golden cross, one would be pretty confident that $10 could be on its way over the near term. Another stock to keep an eye on at the moment is NLight, and the reason for that is we've had an island reversal, gap down in February, gapped up massively for the start of May, and above the 200-day line there at call it $11, looking for $16 at the top of that broadening triangle there from back in October. $16 could be hit as soon as the end of this month, so a very decent picture there. And the rallies, the gap helped along with the bullish divergence that we had with the lower low for the end of April, but higher RSI trace. So it was foretold in a way by the technicals. Stock which has been on the move in the recent past is Minim, and here you can see that obviously somebody's trying to sell the shares on any spikes, but what's good here is that it looks as though we've got support coming in here around the 50-day moving average level, $3.15, and above that on an end-of-day close, looking for not only ongoing attempts at spiking through the 200-day line at $5.40, but hopefully a sustained move to $10 plus at the top of that broadening December triangle. Another situation which is looking quite buoyant at the moment is Nanthealth. Here we managed to clear the 50-day line around $2.10 over the course of the end of last week, and looking for the top of that triangle there from February, and the 200-day moving average at $4.35 by the end of this month, or possibly even sooner, helped along by an uptrend line in the RSI window as well. So very healthy there. Moving on to stock which has caught my eye in particular, Minerva Neurosciences. Beautiful move through the 200-day line, which is now rising. $4 is the level there, and above that looking for $8 by the end of this month or well before. In fact, one could already upgrade that $8 target on the basis that we have an upper parallel there from back in October, $12 maybe by the end of next month. So the upside value while we hold above the $4 area and that rising 200-day moving average. New stock to come up with here are Owens and Minor, and here this is a bear trap island reversal, so gap down, made a new low and then gapped up, and while we're above the floor of the gap there, gap down rather at $17, looking for as high as $25 at the top of that rising trend channel from November. Not really much else to wait for apart from hoping that that $17 support will come in, that notional $17 support will come in from back in March. 3 stocks to go now. First one is a decent bouncer. We've got a gap, unfold gap to the upside through the 50-day moving average for Redfin Corporation. We broke that line of resistance there from the beginning of February. That was around $9.20, and above that on an end-of-day close basis, looking up to $14 by the end of next month, and hopefully a bit sooner than that. Very pleased that we had a request for Shopify some time ago, maybe a month or two ago, and shares have built up on that particular request. The current situation is that we've gapped up after I think the company gave a lot of people the sack, and initial target here up to $65. Next target, upgraded target up to $90 over the next 1 to 2 months, while we hold above the recent support $55 area, which was also resistance back in February. Finishing off with a stock which is also one to keep an eye out on. Similar patterns to many of the ones we've seen so far today, i.e. breaking through the 200-day moving average at 190 in this case. Above that looking for $3 by the end of this month, and only well below $2 or the $1.90 area of the 200-day moving average, really delaying the upside scenario. But I suspect that this will go into a golden cross sometime later this month or going into June, given the way that the 200-day moving average is now rising, and one would expect the 50-day line to curl up positively. That's it from me today. More updates during the week.